Hello there, welcome to Five Figures. Taking a look at another batch of Harley Quinns. This is it's a few of my more high-end Harley Quinns. So let's start with the lowest of the low end. And let's start over here. This is from the DC Multiverse Mattel stuff. This was not a good figure. I mean, it's pretty rough. You got single jointed knees, just a basic movement at the ankle that didn't hardly do anything. It's like it's not even worth being there. Upper thigh cut and a ball joint at the hip. Waist rotation and an ab crunch that doesn't do anything. Really clunky upper bicep cuts. Single jointed wrist, which got you about to a 90, and just wrist rotation. Ball joints at the shoulders and a head rotation. It didn't really look up or anything. You got some pretty big hair gaps where it attaches to the head. Let's face it, this was not a good figure. I will give it credit for having good paint apps. They're very clean. Very good stuff. The screen printing stuff was good. The sculpt on the face, not so great. This is supposed to be Margot Robbie, and Margot Robbie is much cuter than that. The baseball bat, also, there's writing all over this thing, not just good night. So it was a pretty disappointing figure, but before I crap on it too much, remember, at its original price point, $20, this thing was terrible. But it didn't stay there. It's not there now. And you can pick this thing up about anywhere online for $5 to $10. And at $5 to $10, I'm much happier with it. And that's what I paid for mine. I think I paid like $9. I got it at a store and they were just clearance them out for $9. And that, at $9, I'm happy with it. You know, sometimes when a figure really sucks, it really just makes a difference to the price point of it. That being said, let's take a look at the same figure done by SH Figure Arts. This is Margot Robbie, and that looks like Margot Robbie. And if you want to get into the articulation, where do I begin? It's everything. Multiple handsets, tons of different hair, tons of different faces, a nice ab crunch. It's an SH Figure Arts. It's going to have absolutely every kind of articulation that you could possibly want. And it's done very well. Double jointed knees. It does not have an upper thigh rotation, but it has like a ball joint rotation that's up inside the hip that basically does all of that as well. It's a good figure. It's very well done. The color schemes, of course, are amazing. This is everything you would expect from a more upper end figure. I lucked out and got this one pretty cheap. cheap for an SH Figure Arts. Sometimes you can find them for like $25, $35 from the right like secondary market. Somebody selling them used or something like that. And I'm into that. I am not into spending $60 on one. They're a little bit smaller scaled, as you can see, as it stands next to the 6-inch scale, not so great one. It is smaller scale, but it also looks so fantastic that, like, who cares? It's beautiful. She comes with the jacket. This thing's gorgeous. The only thing that I've noticed about this that I don't care for is the distance between the kneecap to the shoe and the sculpt of the leg. It just looks like it's a little short. Like I feel like this leg should have been a little bit longer. Anyway, maybe it's just the visual thing I'm getting off the shoes, but every time I see it now, I just think, gosh, her legs look a little bit short. Like they should just be a touch longer. Just that lower calf just needs to be a little bit out there, a little bit more. But it is what it is. I think it's still a fantastic figure. I won't bash on it, but that is one thing I noticed that I would have kind of liked altered would have been that. The one I prefer much more than this one, though, is this Harley Quinn. This is from Injustice, Gods Among Us. Just the DC fighting game. This is another SH Figure Arts, but in my opinion, just an amazingly rendered one. This is probably not the Harley everybody's used to seeing, but there's so many different incarnations of Harley. Do we even care anymore? They're all good in some way or another. Same deal. This is an SH Figure Arts. It has any point of articulation you could want. And it's pretty well hidden, especially this like ab crunch, which doesn't move a ton. But you get nice, oops. Those guns, it came flying off. All the accessories for these things they always feel, I don't know, a little brittle to me, so I try to be careful with them. But she has knives all over her, spikes all over her, double jointed knees that are like a ball socket thing. Or maybe they're not double jointed, maybe they feel double jointed because they're so ball jointed. But I love her boots. They're very pokey. They're poking my finger every time I try and move it. She has toe articulation, which the other one didn't, but this one does. And it's not that it's necessary. I never think that that's necessary. Her hair has articulation in it all over, which I thought was cool. You can kind of bend it up and do whatever you want with it that way. Aesthetically, the paint, of course, is amazing. I love that she comes with 2 guns. There goes the knives again. She's just gorgeous. You wonder how she has the stamina to fight in a game against people like Superman. It is covered or addressed, I believe, in the plot of the game. Everybody gets the same power set. So, I mean, it works. But this is one of my favorite Harley Quinn figures. Definitely one of the pricier ones. Once again, this was a case where I could get like a damaged box from a retailer for a lot less than what they would normally run. She would normally be like a $60, $70 figure. I was able to pick her up for about, I want to say $35 it was. So I got both of these two for less than half price, and I'm very happy with them. Because, of course, they're SH Figure Arts, and you should always have a couple of those in your collection. Now, a figure that didn't cost me much, but is just surprisingly good, was this DC Multiverse Harley. One of the last that Mattel did. Double jointed knees. I love her sneakers. They make this figure feel so much fun. This is also a kind of odd look for Harley, but it's one that we've been seeing more lately in like some of the cartoons and stuff. Just a wrist rotation, nothing fancy there. Single jointed elbow. A pretty decent ab crunch hidden right below the bust line, but no waist rotation, so it takes the place of that. I like the sculpt. I like the feel. It is a cheaper figure. It's clearly not a Figure Arts, but you know, for the $20 price point or less that this was, it doesn't feel breakable. It feels fun. It conveys the character, and I really just like the design. She's got a ball jointed shoulder, no upper bicep swivel, but you know, we could complain about articulation all day on everything. The paint is not as clean. Some of it on her face is just a little bit rough, but this is another figure that you can actually pick up really cheap. She started out at the $20 price point, but most of the Walmarts clearance these out, and they had these and spoiler figures everywhere for like $9. So I paid full price, but I probably could have waited and got her picked up less. And if you like her, you can get her on eBay for about that $10 price range. And she is a good figure. She's just not as high-end as these, but she scales real well with your Marvel Legends. And I don't know. For my money, for the average Harley figure, she's probably one of my more favorites. And then lastly, I'm going to look at this Harley. I can't remember what this Harley was called. Pajama Harley or something like that. And she's kind of more of a statue. She has articulation at the ankles that just rotate. She's wearing weird bunny slippers. Nothing that moves in the ankles or legs or torso or anything like that. So you get basically rotation at the ankles, ball jointed shoulder, single jointed elbow, wrist rotation, and just a head rotation that turns. But that being said, this thing came with a crap ton of accessories, which I almost never display her with because they're kind of odd. The glasses are removable, and they have glass in them. Like there is Yeah, there is actual lenses in those, which I thought was super impressive. Don't always see that on action figures. And it's just an adorable looking figure. The part that gets me, that gets everybody, is like the back of the bunny suit that she's wearing. Beautiful hood, but you can see that she's got her flap trap open, and she's wearing Batman underwear. And who doesn't think that that's absolutely adorable? Nobody, because that's absolutely adorable. Anyway, she's not much of a figure. She's scaled fairly large. She's just one piece of Harley memorabilia that I had to pick up just because of, well, I didn't even know about the Batman underwear until after I bought it. But it is just a cool piece. It's definitely a Harley that if you have to have all the Harleys, you have to have that one at some point. Anyway, that's just 5 more Harley Quinns. I think that means I've done 3 videos of 5. I'm up to 15 Harley Quinn figures. I know I have more because, like I said, she is one of my favorite characters of all time. So, hope you like this video. That's my story. That's all I got, guys. I will catch you guys later. Bye.